Today, we're talking about something that just might change how you manage your time and energy: delegation. If you're a nurse, a professional, or a single mom looking to build your dream business all while working a professional full-time job, then this one is for you. Whether you're at the bedside or the boardroom table, learning to delegate can mean the difference between burnout and breakthrough. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Janique, and today we are talking about delegation. So let's dive in. Perfect. As nurses, we're trained to assess, plan, implement, and evaluate. But not only that, we are also trained to delegate. And that's just not to lighten the load, but that's to ensure safe and effective patient care. Delegating a blood pressure, a glucose reading, or even turning the patient isn't just about saving time, but it's about focusing your energy on the tasks that only you can do. Interpreting labs, making clinical decisions, communicating with doctors, and managing complex cases are all things that the nurse has to do. So when you are delegating, you are not neglecting your duties, but you are prioritizing them. And that's where real time management begins. Now let's shift the scene from hospital to business. As a CEO, your role is visionary, is strategic. But let's be honest, when you first start out, you're doing everything. You're doing the emails, you're doing the content creation, you're doing administrative tasks, you're doing everything. I mean, the list goes on and on. But just like in nursing, if you're focused on everything, then you're not focused on the things that only you can do, like crafting an offer, building partnerships, setting the vision, and scaling income streams. When you try to carry it all, you stunt your growth. The truth, you weren't meant to do it all. This is why hiring is critical. You don't just need people, but you need the right people. And that means knowing what tasks you need to let go of, having clear roles and expectations, hiring people who align with your vision, and trusting your team in their role and letting them own their role. Delegation without trust is micromanagement, but delegation with the right people, that's freedom. Just like you wouldn't delegate a patient assessment to a CNA, don't delegate critical business tasks to the wrong person. Hire slow, train well, and trust wisely. When you delegate well, whether it's in a hospital or a business, you create room for what matters most: thinking, creating, leading, and serving. You go from working to lasting. As a nurse transitioning to CEO, this is how you protect your time, your energy, avoid burnout, and stay in your zone of genius. Knowing when to delegate is just as important as knowing how to delegate. As a nurse, we can delegate those routine tasks or those tasks that can legally be handed off to others, such as the CNA, while we focus on things that need more of our clinical judgment and patient care. Such tasks like taking a blood pressure, glucose reading, turning patients, other things like that, ADLs, that can all be handed off to the CNA, for example. And we can focus on the tasks that only we can do. Now switch that over to being a CEO. You can delegate tasks that you're spending too much time on or do not align with the bigger picture. Think checking emails, editing videos, making graphics. Yes, those are important, but not as important as casting visions, selling, or creating impactful products. So when is the right time to hire? When you are consistently trading profit-making activities for busy work, then it's time to hire. Or when you are burnt out from doing it all and slowing your growth, then it's time to hire. Also, you may want to consider when it is financially right and makes sense for you to hire. And how do you find the right person? Well, be clear about the job, hire for values first, and maybe start with a small paid trial project. The right person won't just check the boxes, but they'll match your mission and make your life easier. Delegation isn't about giving up control. It's about capacity. So delegate to grow and lead with intention. In closing, I want to leave you with this short excerpt from this book, Kobe Bryant, The Mamba Mentality, How I Play. I was reading this and it kind of aligned with what we have talked about so far. So I'm just going to read this real quick. It says, I knew there was a reason Bill Russell had more rings than fingers. Years ago, then I picked up an autobiography of his and devoured it. There were a lot of valuable lessons in there. There's one anecdote Bill shared that stuck with me. He recounts how people always said he wasn't a ball handler, just didn't know how to handle and shoot the ball. He said, sure, he could do all of those things, but why would he lead the fast break when Bob Kelsey was playing with him? Why would he shoot jumpers when Sam Jones was on the wing? The message was, if you want to win championships, you have to let people focus on what they do best, while you focus on what you do best. For him, that was rebounding, running the floor, and blocking shots. I thought that teaching was simple yet profound. It was an insight I had never heard from anyone before. Pretty much as soon as I read that, I reached out to Bill and started a relationship and mentorship that opened up my world. So in that excerpt, Kobe noticed that what Bill Russell did was he utilized the role and the expertise and what the other players were good at, letting them use their role and be strong in owning their role while he owned his own role. So sometimes we have to hire people who are good at what they do. It's all in the people you surround yourself with. So if you're not good in a certain area, that's okay. But if you surround yourself with the right person or hire the right person who is good in that area, then that will also help to elevate your business. So by doing so, Bill Russell, he had more rings, as Kobe said, than fingers. So that's was something I just wanted to leave with you. This is the Kobe Bryant Mamba Mentality book. You can pick this up on Amazon. If you're interested, I'll leave the link in the description. But it does speak to a lot of good stuff in this book. And I probably will come back to this book with more quotes and information, because Kobe was a very focused individual. And there's a lot of good lessons in this book as well. So if this spoke to you, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'm so glad that you joined me here today on the Empowered Nursepreneur, where you all are empowered, not just in nursing, but in business. So please join me on the next one. And thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to delegate and lead with intention. Thank you, guys. Bye.